Good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in to First at 4. I'm Don Jorgensen.
And I'm Kelly Volk. The Sioux Falls School District says there is no threat to Roosevelt High School following a social media post against the school. In an email to parents, the principal said social media messages discovered by school officials contained language which could have been seen as threatening.
However, school officials and law enforcement determined that the account that posted the message was a spoof account and there was no actual threat. The principal thanked the parents and students for slowing the rumor mill and keeping schools safe.
Montana's House Speaker is refusing to allow a transgender lawmaker to speak on bills for the rest of the session. The Speaker says she has to apologize for saying lawmakers would have, quote, blood on their hands if they supported a bill to ban gender-affirming care for transgender youth. A conservative group of lawmakers intentionally misgendered Representative Zoe Zephyr in demanding that she be censured for her comments. Zephyr says she stands by her words.
The Minnesota Senate is expected to vote on 3 health care bills today. Lawmakers already passed the conversion therapy ban and Reproductive Freedom Defense Act. The Senate is still debating the trans refuge bill, and supporters say that the laws are needed at a time when other states are seeking to ban abortion procedures as well as gender-affirming care for minors. People on both sides of the issues were in the Capitol earlier today. With Democrats in control, the bills are expected to pass in the Senate, and they will then head to Governor Tim Walz's desk for his signature.
Well, the weather's been a little confusing today.
Can you believe it?
I've seen rain, snow,
I was out on
sunshine.
a shoot this afternoon. I felt like I was driving through a snow blizzard.
But then we saw sun as well.
Yeah, a real mixed bag.
Well, we have what are called instability showers. They just kind of pop up and then they go away, and then you have sunshine and then you have snow showers again. Not a whole lot in the way of accumulation, though, this afternoon. Right now, Sioux Falls is at 37 degrees, northwest winds at 21 miles an hour. In Aberdeen, the snow showers are a little bit heavier, 36 degrees, north winds at 25. We have seen very strong wind gusts today as well. In Pierre, 37 degrees, a little bit of snow showers right now. We could even have some areas of fog this afternoon, north winds at 29 miles an hour. And like I said, some of those wind gusts in Rapid City in central South Dakota have been nearing 40, even 45 miles an hour. Right now, 38 in Rapid City, trying to get a little bit of sunshine this afternoon. North winds at 36. Here's a look at our radar where we can see those snow showers in eastern Calaland. These instability showers will be done when the sun sets this afternoon. We still have a winter weather advisory in the northeastern corner of South Dakota until 7 o'clock tonight due to the blowing snow causing visibility issues. Otherwise, for tonight, that strong northwest wind will stick around, mostly cloudy skies. 28 in Sioux Falls, 25 in Aberdeen, 27 in Pierre, and 24 in Rapid City. Then tomorrow, we'll keep the wind around, and it'll be not quite as cold as today. 41 Sioux Falls, 39 in Aberdeen, 45 in Pierre, and 41 in Rapid City. And then Sunday, a little bit warmer, 47 Sioux Falls with partly cloudy skies, 46 Aberdeen, 51 in Pierre, and 45 in Rapid City. Sunday, less wind and a little bit more sunshine. We'll have an even warmer next week in just a little bit with your 7-day forecast.
Thanks, Megan. The National Weather Service says widespread flooding continues on rivers in Minnesota, and more rain and snow will continue to make flooding worse across the state. The Mississippi River is approaching all-time highs as it reaches major flood stage. Fort Snelling State Park closed this morning due to flooding. The Carver County Sheriff's Office has increased the number of roads that are closed due to water over the streets. And the ground in Delano, Minnesota is so saturated that a drainage pipe was pushed right out of the ground.
Well, farmers in North Dakota can look forward to a wetter soil when they're growing their crops this year. Lauren Davis with our sister station in Bismarck tells us why this is both beneficial and harmful for producers.
For the past few years, North Dakota has seen drought conditions impacting farmers around the state. But after much needed moisture, things are starting to look up.
We've actually had a improvement in the drought conditions over the past week, as to be expected with the excessive amount of snowfall that we've seen across the state, and then with the melting as well. So we've been replenishing the soil moisture, and the drought conditions have lessened.
Brumman says this is the time of year producers are usually gearing up to plant. However, with the rapid snowmelt and with snow still in the forecast, they'll be in the fields planting a little later.
I think statewide we're behind schedule already. So some areas of the state typically would be in the field already. Here in Ward County, we would like to be in the field the end of May, early April, and some delays are definitely expected. Possibly some acres that are going to be pretty challenging to access this spring.
When planting season is delayed, the growing season could potentially be shorter. And depending on how late of a start farmers get, Brumman says they need to plan ahead.
It gets tricky, and every producer kind of needs to look at what they're intending on planting, what their acres look like, and start to, just play those scenarios out in their head, and make some plans for, what happens if I can't get in the field. So do I switch to a different crop that can maybe be planted a little bit later and still get a yield? Do we look at, different crop options?
And while soil conditions are looking good this year, Brumman says there's no way to tell what we can expect for the next growing season.
It really can change quickly. So if we look over the course of the last even 5-6 years, we've been in extreme droughts, and then we've dealt with excessive moisture, dealt with flooding, and then back to a drought again. So just because we have an extremely dry summer and we have some drought instances doesn't mean that we don't all of a sudden get a excess moisture and deal with too wet.
That was Lauren Davis reporting from North Dakota. The drought in South Dakota has also improved. However, there are still large portions of the state that are abnormally dry, shaded in yellow. There is one very small part of Union County that is under extreme drought. It's shaded in red.